time. So basically, again, my goal is to really try to keep my pace to no more than 20, 25 minutes max. And really, I want this to be about making you all feel comfortable and having your questions answered. So for those who have not met me, my name is Cara. So I am the advisor in the hub for electrical, computer systems, and materials engineers. I know that my face is probably familiar to many of you since we said, obviously, we sent these emails to our advisees. However, people across all majors are welcome. So for those I haven't met, I'm glad you're here this morning and I'm happy to help. So just to talk a little bit about what we're going to learn today. We're going to go through what the hidden curriculum is. So this is something you're going to see consistently through your first year, and I'll tell you what you can expect from the hub. Then I'm going to go through a quick rundown of the hub, who our people are, and how to engage with us, make appointments, all of those good things. We're also going to do a quick teaser of the next hidden curriculum episode, what you need to succeed. So there will be a little bit of miscellaneous stuff to start there that we really want you to know right away. And then we're just going to kind of run through some of the resources that you should have on your radar now, and we will teach you more about later. And that kind of ties into with like the campus and student life piece that we're going to get to. So without further ado, let's get started. So as far as the hidden curriculum goes, what is it? Basically, the hidden curriculum is going to be a series of episodes we share with you all throughout the year. And basically the goal is when you meet with a hub advisor, often people come in because they have a specific thing they want to solve. They want to change their class schedule, change their major, and that's great. That's what we're here for. However, there's a lot more to being a successful student than just having a good schedule. So we built all of this online content for you to reference at any time so that you can learn things about campus resources, tips for success, how to read your degree audit, and all of those extraneous things that are going to make you feel empowered to do your academic planning going forward. So the good news is two down, not that many to go. So your first episode for hidden curriculum was the registration guides that you were able to look at this summer. And also, if you attended one of our webinars at that time for your major, that was also an opportunity through episode 1. Then episode 2 right now is just quick hello during SO week, and also again kind of introducing you to the hidden curriculum and what to expect. Then the ones to keep on your radar for the fall are going to be your SOE advising team and what you need to succeed. So again, we're teasing a little bit of that today, but that episode is going to dive deep into all sorts of wonderful resources and tips for being successful here at RPI. Then in October, we're going to send out a lot of information about registration. So even though you're already done with round 1, your spring semester registration is going to be happening in November. So we want to make sure to get you stuff in ahead of time so you feel prepared. Then in November, we're going to be diving more into some campus and student life resources and talk about DegreeWorks, which is your degree auditing software, and definitely going to be something you want to understand. And then the 2 episodes coming in the spring are going to be What's Your Plan, which covers the SAM meeting and your 4-year plan, which I'll talk a little bit about later, and Time for Transition. So as you've probably heard us say in many times, in many ways, through emails and through the first registration guide episode, we are your advisors for your first year. We'll be your main contact point. And then starting sophomore year, you're going to transition to a faculty advisor. So this won't just be a sudden launch that you're not prepared for. We'll make sure to give you chances to meet your faculty advisor, get their contact info, and all of that good stuff. Now, you may notice that there are some dates on here and wonder what those are. And those are due dates. Because a big question we get with this is the hidden curriculum mandatory? Yes. So basically, these are really, really important things for you all to know, whether it's things about the academic calendar or how to read your degree audit so you can know if you're going to graduate on time. So we find it really important and we really need you to do it as a result. Now, at the end of every episode, which will be a Spark page that you could access on the website, I'll show you a little bit of that in a minute. There's going to just be a short Google quiz that we want you to fill out. So it's not going to be like anything for your GPA or anything high stakes. It's really for us to evaluate what we're making and seeing if the points that we need to stick are landing. So in the interest of making that effective, please give it your best effort. but don't panic if you quote unquote get something wrong. We really just want to make sure that A, you're engaging with the episodes, and B, see if there's any room for improvement as we go forward. And then one thing we wanted to promise with the hidden curriculum is that I think it's fair to say, and no need to sugarcoat, that you all know it's a weird time and a weird semester. So as things progress, if there's any content that you all want to see, let us know. We are ready to be reactive and flexible to whatever may come. So while we have a general outline of what we want to share with you all, that is, again, it is an outline, and we are willing to bend to make whatever you need. Okay, so let's touch briefly on the hub and how you will meet with us, engage with us, all of that. So again, since this was open to all majors, wanted to show a quick photo of the entire team. So obviously, as I said, I cover materials, electrical, and computer systems engineering, but these are all of the other hub advisors and the respective majors that they cover. So hopefully at least one of these ladies looks familiar to you at this point. So one question we sometimes get is, if I switch majors, do I switch hub advisors? And the answer is yes. So let's say you're one of my students as an electrical engineer, and then in October you decide you'd rather do aeronautical, then you will switch over to Marie as an advisor. But every advisor on the team is smart, passionate, ready to help. So don't panic if you got to switch. We got a good group here. And then in terms of how to meet with us, let me get to the next slide. My computer's angry. There we go. So during the fall semester, we will be meeting remotely just for the interest of safety. So that will be either via WebEx meetings or via phone. When you book your appointments, you will get to choose. So basically, we will be available for appointments Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to noon and 1 to 4 p.m. So we all have a booking page, which I'm going to show you when I'm done with this slide. So never feel like you have to email us to figure out a good time. If that slot's open on our booking page, just grab it. It's yours. Now, our standard appointments are 20 minutes. And basically, the way we have our calendar set up, there is a little bit of cushion time built in. So if we go a little over 20 minutes, it won't be catastrophic. But if you got some big, wild plan that you want to talk about, like double major that's never been done before, don't generally recommend that. But if you want to talk about something that's going to take a lot longer, feel free to book 2 slots back to back. There's no limit to how many times you can meet with us. And I can speak safely for all hub advisors in that meeting with you all is easily the best part of our jobs and best part of our day. So never be shy to book an appointment and come hang with us. Now, in terms of the booking link, that's something I'm going to show you now. So for your respective advisor, whenever you receive an email from us, we all have the booking link for our exact page in the signature block for our email, but you can find the central booking page for all of us on the Hub's website. Let's hope that this goes smoothly on the screen share. Okay, so if I just Google RPI SOE Hub, this is our main page that's going to come up. So a lot of the things I'm talking about can be accessed very easily here. So as we talk about the hidden curriculum and the different episodes, this is the page you would click. So again, it'll tell you what each episode contains. And then below, all the descriptions are going to be the actual Spark pages that you can click. And then if you need to book an appointment, whether it's with your current hub advisor, or as I mentioned, if you're planning to switch majors and need to book with someone else, no problem, just click the Book Now button. And that will take you to our main landing page. So if your advisor is me, Cara, but you need to book with Marie because you're planning to switch to aeronautical, cool, click right on over there. And then you can grab any open slot. Again, if the slot's open, just book, we get an email notification, and all is pretty seamless from that perspective. So let's go back here. So let's talk about basically the main milestones that you'll be expecting from the hub this semester and this year. So again, some of these are already done. We've done your first registration. We're talking about hidden curriculum now. One opportunity that's available for everybody this fall that I would really recommend is something we call Industry Hour. So this was developed for undeclared engineers, but it is open to everyone. And basically every Monday evening, again, this will be available via WebEx. You'll be able to drop in and meet with 2 alumni and 1 student from a given major, and they will talk about their background, and for the alumni, their career path, and then you'll have a chance to ask questions. So whether you are trying to decide what field you want to be in, or maybe explore a new one, or just learn more about what you're currently majoring in and feel passionate about, again, it's all via WebEx, easy to drop in. You will get more information about this throughout the fall, so not mandatory, but highly recommended. And then next thing, and probably the biggest milestone for this year, is going to be in the spring with your 4-year plan. So 2 big things for spring that we kind of touched on earlier are your SAM meeting and 4-year plan. So SAM is every year at RPI, you are required to meet with your advisor to make sure that you are on track for graduation. And the way they enforce that is the SAM hold. So in the spring, a SAM hold is put on everybody's account, which means that you cannot register until your advisor goes in and removes the hold. So it's very easy. Just it's sometime in the spring semester, and no time is too early as long as you do it in the spring semester, like January onward. You can book an appointment with your hub advisor, talk about your plan for fall registration, and that's all you have to do to remove your SAM hold. Now, in that spring appointment, another thing we're going to talk about, and something we want you to start trying to prepare before that meeting, is your 4-year plan. So I always encourage students to think of this as a living document. Whatever 4-year plan you map out today, 99% sure something about it will change. But we want you to have a general sense of what your remaining semesters here are going to look like. That way we have all of your degree requirements accounted for, and you have a general sense of what you need to do. By getting all those logistics out of the way, it's our hope that when you transition to your faculty advisor in your 2nd year, while they can still answer different questions about like prerequisites and sequencing of classes, what's really special about them is their in-field knowledge. So if you've already got a general sense of your requirements, you can really have better conversations about your field if you have that good background. So we're definitely going to want that in the spring. Again, 5 is the SAM meeting, touched on that already. And then 6 is Cafe Hub. So obviously, no surprise, format TBD for the spring, but Cafe Hub is our way of introducing you to your faculty advisor in what we would hope is an approachable and fun way. So historically, we've had refreshments, the faculty introduce themselves, talk a little bit about their research, what classes they take, but the main goal is really to just give you all a chance to mingle, get to know them, learn their contact information, so that when you transition to them your sophomore year, it's not just this faceless person that you have to email. So again, you will be hearing from us all year. So as the time gets closer, we'll be letting you know how that works. So those are really the main things coming your way. So just keep them in mind. Then, all right, now let's touch on what you need to succeed. So again, some of the beginning of this will just be some quick miscellaneous stuff that we feel you should really know right now. And then the rest will just be a quick intro to some campus resources that, again, we want you to be aware of early on, but you will be getting much more information in some of the upcoming hidden curriculum content. So first and foremost, there is a brand new resource for you all, which is the Hub's online learning guide. So basically, it's going to give you top tips for success in online classes, advice from current RPI students that were at least did the spring remote situation, and some of them even did the summer arch semester remotely. And then something I'm very big on in all that I do and all that I try to teach is an action plan. So it's great to know things, but if you don't know how to put that into action, then what good does that do you? So there is a printable action plan at the end of the guide that is helpful for both remote and in-person classes. Like there's pretty much nothing on that guide that I wouldn't suggest you do for an in-person class as well. Now, obviously I'm a little biased because I made this guide, but I think it's really good for everyone to look at, especially given the remote start to the semester and because some of you are joining us fully remotely. So I'm just going to scroll through quick so you know what to expect. So basically the top 10 tips are here. We got general summary in larger text. If you want some extra context, it's typed below. Then our quotes from our students are here as little graphics. And then at the end is that action plan. So this is printable. And we also have a bunch of different links in case you need help with something, just to try to put it all in one place. You'll also see a lot of those links in the hidden curriculum episode 2 Spark page. So remember, if let's try to get this. So it's clicks. So clicking off the hidden curriculum page, if I click on episode 2, it's going to bring me to this. And a lot of you registered for your web chat through here, so good on you. And then this will, again, it has all the info for the web chats. This has a link for every resource I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. So if you need to find something, you'll be able to. It has a link to the online learning guide, so you'll definitely be able to find it in there. And then, as I said, every episode will finish with a short Google quiz. So when we're done chatting here, I would recommend just going over and doing it quick so that we know you attended and know that you looked through everything. And again, this isn't about getting a good grade, but give it your best just so we can kind of assess how effective we're being. Okay, so then back over to here. And then another thing we want to talk about as you're preparing to come to campus is how to communicate professionally. So professionalism is a bit of a fraught and weird concept at times, but the unfortunate reality is the way we present ourselves does impact how people see us. So here are a couple of tips and tricks for when you're emailing faculty and staff when you get here to make sure that your message is landing well and getting you the response you want. So just for some quick what not to do, this is an example of a couple of emails that Hub advisors have received where there's some room for improvement. So give you a second to look at those. In the next slide, again, action steps. We'll talk about how to make it better. Okay, so a couple quick tips because again, it's email. We don't want you to stress too much, but we want you to put your best foot forward. So first and foremost, proofread carefully. Spelling and grammar does count. Obviously, everyone makes little mistakes here and there, but definitely make sure to take the time to look through your email, make sure it makes sense, and any glaring typos or errors are fixed. I would also say to write incomplete sentences and kind of treat it like a letter. So what I mean by that is, let's see, let me see if I can go back. So let's take this email, for example, just how do I drop a class sent from my iPhone. Now, obviously your message was decently clear, but there's room for improvement. So if I were to write this email, I would think maybe a better way to approach it would be, hi, Cara, or whoever you're emailing. I'm a Hub advisor. Maybe you're emailing me. Hope you're doing well. I wanted to drop one of my classes, but I wasn't sure how to go about doing that. Would you be able to help me? Thank you. Your name. You can see that it's still efficient. It's not like I wrote a whole essay, but that little bit of extra effort comes across as more kind, more polite, and again, it just has a better impression on your reader. And then kind of going off some of those ideas, it's always good to, and I would say good, mandatory, please start your emails with a greeting. So it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but saying, hi, Professor Blank, or hi, Cara, Hub advisor, whoever. Again, with that whole treat it more like a letter than a text message, start with a greeting and end with a closing. So that could be thank you, best, sincerely, however you want to end it, but definitely make sure to say hello and goodbye in your email. It really, again, helps with making it feel like a more formal communication. And then also, please, please, please sign your emails and include your written. I cannot tell you how many emails I've gotten as a Hub advisor from a student who I haven't met with before that just has no information. Now, there is a website, RPI Info, where I can spend the time looking up who you are, but it helps to get an answer to you so much faster if you just include your name. And then especially if you're emailing a faculty member or a staff member, then it would be good to include your written. Just you know what it looks like on my back end. If I'm trying to pull up your information, like for example, look at your transcript to answer one of your questions, the absolute fastest way for me to do that is by using your written. So again, by making it easier, you get a quicker response. So those are the main tips. And something you can do if you're worried about remembering some of it is setting up an automatic signature for your email. So this is something all of your Hub advisors have. It'll automatically say our names and a whole bunch of information. For you all, I would say the biggest thing is to have your name. RIN is great for faculty and staff emails. And then from there, you can kind of customize it to your desire. So lots of people will sometimes include majors or minors. They'll include their personal pronouns, any leadership positions in clubs and organizations. This is really where you can kind of freestyle, but always aim for at the very least your name so that we know who we're talking to. And now let's move on to the more fun part, which is campus and student life resources. So while the hub is a great place to go for help, obviously we are not the only place to go. So we want to make sure you know what other options you have on campus and where to go for different things. So this is stuff that we're going to dig into much, much deeper in the next episode of Hidden Curriculum. So I'll try to keep it brief, but things to keep on your radar. We have a writing center, most commonly known as ComD. So they will meet with you one-on-one, just like a hub advisor would, and they can help with all sorts of things. So you can take stuff for class to them, but you can also do things with like independent projects. So if you're just like trying to, let's see an example, like if you wanted to start a business and you needed help with your website, then they could help you even look at that. So if you go to their website, more details are there. Again, more to come in the Hidden Curriculum later. Also, there's something called learning assistants. So one thing you'll see is you're going to see ALAC's name come up a lot, which stands for Advising and Learning Assistance Center. They are an amazing resource and one you should definitely plan on using in some capacity this year. So learning assistants, or LAs, are fellow students who are upperclassmen, and they are going to be reaching out to you to talk about how to be successful at RPI. Now, obviously, there's tons of stuff you could ask, but I think there's really something special and that can't be replicated about the student experience. So definitely pay attention when they start reaching out and don't be afraid to ask them questions. You also have the option for drop-in tutoring with ALAC. So pretty much every class you would take in your freshman year, especially the major ones like calculus, chemistry, physics, are all going to have drop-in tutoring available. So you'll be able to get help with all your classes. ALAC's website is always going to have the most up-to-date schedule, so definitely make sure to check that out. I would say the fall schedule is probably not up yet because the tutors are upperclassmen who are probably just like you, potentially still tweaking their last little bits of their schedule, but when it's ready, it will go live on that website. Then Office of First Year Experience, you've probably been hearing a lot from this summer. So they did all the wonderful things to put SO together for you all. They also are a place that houses student success and the class deans. So I think the best way to explain what a class dean does is if you were to think of staff who can help you like tech support. The hub advisors are like tier 1. We can handle like 95% of what you throw at us and we've got it covered. But if you're in a particular spot where, let's say, something happened at home that's affecting your academics, or you're just like really not sure how to deal with something in your life and how it's impacting all your work, then class deans have a bit of power that the hub advisors might not have to help in some of those more serious situations. So good, a lot of students will never end up needing to talk to the class dean, but it's good to know that they're there should something happen. Then Health and Counseling Center is available to all students. They are located on campus and you can have appointments covered by your student health fee. And then another big thing we often get asked about is financial matters. So one thing I wanted to clarify is, as a hub advisor, none of us can even see your financial information, much less know how to guide you on it. So if you have questions about your aid package or things regarding loans or scholarships, that's all handled by the financial aid office itself. So that's who you would want to reach out to. Then the bursar's office is the logistics folks. So in terms of setting up payment plans, actually handing over the money for tuition and things like that, they're the ones to talk to for those types of questions. And then last slide of some different options would be for the CCPD, which is the Center for Career and Professional Development. This is a place where you all should get to know real well. Absolutely visit at least once this year and many times before you graduate. So they can help with all sorts of things job and internship related. So resume, cover letter reviews, helping you search for positions, lots of different networking events. So they are going to be very, very important over your time here. So start getting to know them early. Then many students are interested in undergraduate research, and that's definitely an option. Generally, it's something you start doing more in your sophomore year and onward, but it's never too early to start researching it. So there's no one official pipeline to get involved, but if it's something you want to do, start looking at the RPI website and check out the faculty bios for different departments. If someone does research you're interested in, email them, see what they do, if they need any help in their lab, or maybe as a freshman, you could say, hey, what time you start taking students? Are there any specific classes you need them to have completed before they join your lab? And generally, that's how it all begins. So don't be afraid to reach out. And then civic engagement. So through the student union, we have tons of different clubs and organizations, and you can definitely find volunteer opportunities there if that's something that's important to you. And oh, I lied, one last slide. So again, these are just ways to get involved, but there's Greek Life, if that's something you're interested in. With athletics, there's the Mueller Center, where you can be involved in intramural and club sports. And then again, clubs and organizations are all through our student union. So that is it for my end of things. So takeaways coming up, make sure to go take your episode 2 quiz on the Spark page. Again, you can find that from the SOE Hub website. Then keep an eye on your email for upcoming episodes of the Hidden Curriculum and expect to see roughly 1 per month. Then make an appointment this fall with your Hub advisor to talk about spring registration. Registration itself is going to be in November, but as you can imagine, our calendars get busy in November as people try to squeeze in. So September's not too early, October's not too early. Feel free to jump in whenever is convenient for you. And then again, check your email daily. We'll be sending you everything you need. So with that being said, I'm done gabbing. So I would like to open the floor to questions. So there is a chat feature here. If you mouse over the screen where you probably see my glowing face, there is a little chat button. Feel free to type questions in there. And depending on how much activity, we could also potentially unmute. So ask away. And as you're typing, I will give the quick disclaimer that I might not always know the answer to every question you guys ask. However, I will always make it my goal to tell you where you can get the answer. So let's get it going. Oh, good question. So are the episodes recorded and posted for the Hidden Curriculum? The answer is yes. So before this even started, I hit record when this all began, and this will be posted to YouTube. So there won't always be webinars for everything. A lot of it's just going to be web content from here on out. But anytime any Hub advisor does a virtual event, we do record it. So you'll always be able to access later. That's a really good question. While we wait for some other questions, I also wanted to promote, so a lot of the other Hub advisors who have done their webinars this week have been getting a lot of questions about move-in and quarantine and all that sort of stuff. So I really wanted to plug that FYE is hosting 2 more webinars this week. That is a Q&A for students and their parents that really dives into all those details. And they're also going to have folks from Res Life on those chats who are going to be able to give you a much more comprehensive answer. So let me double check the website actually. Because one is right after this at noon. You can go do that. 120 timeline. All right, so, and let me share my screen just so in case you don't know where to find this. Okay, so I Googled RPI SO 2020 timeline. Hopefully you've seen this page before. And if we scroll down into August, let's see, today is the 19th. So it's preparing for arrival Q&A. That's where you're going to want to ask questions about quarantine, move-in, all that sorts of stuff. And they will also have a session available on the 21st at 2 p.m. So definitely want to plug those. They are great. Any other questions? Anything else I can help with? And if you're more comfortable unmuting, it seems like we're a relatively quiet bunch, so feel free to unmute, turn on your camera, whatever you want, we can chat. Give this another 5 to 10 seconds just in case somebody's typing something. When do we get access to the RPI G Suite? Let's see. I think if you're referring to like Google Suite, RPI actually doesn't use that. So your RPI email, I believe you guys have something called Roundcube. And then in terms of like online cloud access to things, we use something called Box. So just box.rpi.edu. So in there, you can use cloud storage for all of your documents. And it also has some inbuilt stuff so that you can collaborate on documents. And then where can we find, oh, we get Office 365. You can log in with RPI email. Sweet, thank you. All right, where can we find all the episodes that are recorded? Good question. So the Hub actually has a YouTube channel where you can find everything for your year and years past that we've already put up there. So if you just go to YouTube and search RPI SOE Hub, you'll find our channel. There's over 100 videos on there from different events we've done, prior years of the hidden curriculum, all sorts of things. So you could definitely find there. Let's see, when can we join Submittee? Do we have to register by ourselves? That's a good question and one I'm not sure the answer to. Let me see if I can find anything quick, and if not, we can figure out who might help. Let's see, it looks like Arcos is involved. So let's see if we could find a contact for them for Submittee. For my general understanding is for Submittee, like certain courses, particularly any computer science courses, often will use that as their course management website. So I would hope that they're emailing you something as the semester begins. But let's see. All right, I found an email address. So if you have a question about Submittee, I'm going to drop the email address in the chat so you can go right to the source. Awesome. What else? Other questions? And again, I like to leave a long pause in case someone's typing.
Cara, this was great.
Oh, thank you. Okay, seeing some people click off, which is fine. All right, so I guess I'll wrap up here, but if you're still typing and you hit enter, I will answer you, so don't panic. So basically, thank you all so much for joining me. Don't forget, again, to go to your episode 2 Spark page and fill out the Google form, so we'll all be good with that. And as always, if you have any other questions or personal questions that you didn't want to ask the group, but you want to ask your Hub advisor, never hesitate to reach out. We are still here full time, ready to help you. And yeah, just thank you all for joining me. Have a great rest of your day. It was great to, I mean, I guess you all have cameras off, but it was good to see that you're here regardless. So enjoy your day. And if you have questions about quarantine and move-in, hop on over to that FYE chat at noon.